Hello everyone and welcome to the Cinema 4D course brought to you by Didac Soto. What we're going to do in this first lesson is introduce you to the scene, so the scene that we're going to create. We'll start off, as we always do with any 3D program, by selecting a primitive object. In this case, we'll select a plane. Let's go to Display. And we'll activate the GUROD shading lines so we can see these lines that show us the edges, the vertices, the points of the polygons. We're also going to change the size of the plane. We'll make it quite big. So let's say a width of 5,000 and a height of 10,000. So it's quite large. As we have the lines visible, we can adjust the segments and see how it looks. So we'll increase those to 100 and 200 segments, and as you can see, the mesh and the number of polygons is now much more. Now we'll go to this icon here, where we'll find the deformers. All those that you see here. We're going to choose this one, Displacer. Put the displacer inside the plane, like this, very simple. Okay, once we're inside the displacer, we get these options here. Click on Shading, and if you select this option here, Shader, you get these effects. Let's apply the noise. As you can see, on the plane now, we have these bumps. We can exaggerate this by going here to Object, and we can change the height to, let's say, 10,000. And now the effect is much more visible, much more intense. So you can change these values to get different effects. Okay, now we can go back to the shading, to the noise effect, and in here we can adjust these values too. So in global scale, we could add some more zeros, for example. Let's give it a try. So we can get different effects depending on the global scale we apply. Also, here in noise, we can choose a different effect, for example, this one. And again, it changes the way the plane is deformed. We can choose another, like fire, which makes it look like mountains. This could be good for the scene that we're making for this course. Okay, let's go back to Displacer and then to Object. Here in Type, we also have some options. So let's select Intensity. And again, it modifies the deformity. Now we have this. We can go back to Shading and work a little bit on the effect in itself. So inside Noise here, we get another property panel. So let's just make it a bit bigger. So here we can also adjust the intensity of the effect with these values that we have here. Another advantage of this program and other similar ones is that we can create layers inside our material editor. So here in Displacer, instead of adding another noise, another object, we'll apply a layer. And now, when we go inside, we see this panel here, where we can add more layers. So for example, we could add another shader effect, and we could work on it like a layer. Let's apply a gradient. So you see, as a layer, it works the same. We can increase or decrease the intensity of the effect. Once you get the hang of all these tools and effects, you'll see how you can improve, and you can really do a lot of things with them. Let's go inside the gradient, and we're going to place the black slider in the middle. Pressing down on Control, we'll put the white one on the other side, and you see that the black area is interpreted as the area that's lower down, and the white has more intensity. So this is the effect you get if you do the gradient like this. But I want to exaggerate this even more. So again, with Control, we'll add 2 more whites to each side. Actually, we'll go with 4 on each side. And you can see how all of this is interpreted on our plane. Now let's go back inside the layers. And here you have, similar to Photoshop, the blending modes. So let's set it, for example, to multiply. And this gives us the opposite effect. Okay, we need to improve this. So we can go back to noise. And we can play around some more with the adjustments to get the effect that we're looking for. We could remove a few zeros to see what happens. Now it looks like some kind of path. Let's just add a number here and see. Okay, so this is more or less what I'm going for, kind of opening or path. So you can keep trying out different noise options and just see what you get. Another cool thing is that we can also animate this. So if you adjust the animation here and go to the timeline, see how the model becomes animated. The polygons are moving. But I still want to find the right effect. Obviously, if you increase the animation speed, then it will move much quicker. Let's put a 2 in here, a 1 here, and we'll just see how it looks. Let's go back to Fire and see how the animation is working. Let's leave this part like this. Okay, let's adjust the global scale again. You can leave this at 3000. I think that looks much better. It's really up to you. Let's change the loop to 8. Okay, so let's leave this part as it is. And we'll just go through what we've done up to now. So first we chose a plane. Inside the plane, we increased the size and we added more segments. The orientation is up to you, obviously. If you change it, then the model changes position. So you can see how it changes. This one, for example, is the reverse, but we'll leave it as it was. Then we applied the displacer, and inside the displacer, we saw the different effects. We adjusted these options here for the intensity, and then we went to shading, and we added a noise. Then we created a layer where we worked from. And here inside we saw all these options here. Okay, great. So now we have this animated effect. In the next lesson, I'll teach you about the camera and we'll add some more details. So I'll see you there.